I deleted a YouTube video with over 125,000 views, like willingly. And honestly, that one was a little bit painful because if you make content, you know how hard it is to get 125,000 people to watch anything you make. But I deleted it anyway. In fact, I deleted everything on my channel. And at 43 years old, after creating content online for years, I am basically starting over on YouTube. That sounds slightly insane when I say it out loud, but it also feels so good. And I want to talk to you guys today a little bit about why I did that, because I think there's something a little bit bigger here than cleaning up a YouTube channel. I feel like sometimes we just keep things in our lives because they worked once, or maybe because we spent a lot of time building it. I get it. Or because there's some sort of number attached to it, like 125,000 views, that somehow makes us feel like we're losing our progress. But sometimes growth actually looks like being willing to say, this worked, that was part of my story, and I don't want to carry it forward anymore. And that's kind of where I'm at. If you're new, hi, my name is Jamie, and welcome to Sparkle and Grow's Fresh Beginning. I've been creating online for a very long time, and I've made a lot of different kinds of content. I feel like over on Instagram, things naturally kind of evolved. I'm actually leaving my Instagram completely alone, but YouTube was a different story. When I look back at my channel, it looked like somebody would just like walk into a library where somebody just like threw books on shelves randomly for years. I had reviews. It was just like random topics. There were things that I like cared about at one point, but maybe not as much now. Lots of things that I just like experimented with. A lot of things that did perform well. I didn't have just that 125,000 view video. I had other ones that were over 80,000 or 25,000. They are all gone. And then I also had videos that didn't perform well at all, like literally 2 views. So it was just so random, and I don't think the algorithm even understood what to look for on my channel. And none of this stuff's necessarily bad. I am a firm believer in the journey, but I feel like just none of it feels like me anymore. It's so distant from who I am today that it shouldn't make up my channel's meat. Or maybe more accurately than it doesn't feel like me anymore. It doesn't feel like where I'm going anymore. And that's something I've started thinking about very differently when it comes to YouTube specifically, because YouTube's not really like Instagram. Instagram feels a lot more like a stream. You post something, people experience it, and it eventually just moves down your feed as you continue living your life and creating new things. It feels more natural there. But YouTube to me feels more like a library. Someone can discover a video that you made 5 years ago before they ever even see the one you made just yesterday. So I feel like that kind of completely changed the way I saw how I want this YouTube channel to be. If someone walks into my little corner of the YouTube library, what do I want to see sitting on those shelves? And when I looked at mine, I realized I would not build that library today. So let's go back to that 125,000 view video for a second. It was a negative review. And listen, at the time, I had reasons for making it. I felt like it was a beauty company that had behaved really badly in a really sleazy way. And a big part of me was just glad that people were finding out about it, like I was warning people. And apparently people really wanted to be warned, because 125,000 views later, people were still watching it. But every time I saw it sitting there as one of my most successful videos on YouTube, something about that just felt kind of gross. Not because I suddenly think we're never allowed to criticize something or out somebody, and not because everything has to be fake positivity either. I actually think honesty is incredibly important, but at the same time, I also don't want negativity to be one of the main doors that people walk through to find me. That's not what I want to build. In fact, I think people need a little more positivity in this world. And then, so eventually I had to ask myself a really uncomfortable question. Here's what I asked. If this video video had 125 views instead of 125,000 views, would I still want it here? And the answer was no. Ooh. That told me everything I needed to know, so I deleted it. So that's a big piece of what I'm doing differently this time. I'm not creating based purely on what might get views. I'm definitely not going to just throw random things online just because I could make a video about that. But at the same time, I'm also not forcing myself into some microscopic niche where I'm only allowed to talk about one thing for the rest of my life. No thanks. Because I am a human being. I have lots of layers. I am in my 40s. I'm a mom. I'm a creator. And I myself am constantly learning. I care a lot about personal growth and mindset and creativity and health and beauty and definitely self-care and simply just how to build a meaningful life while also strangely living in this very weird digital world that we've all created. And I feel like those things all belong together because they're all part of the same life. So yes, you're going to see some different things here, but the difference is that I want all of those things to have a common thread kind of connecting them all. I want to create with intention, alignment, and a more natural evolution, not just like randomness. I think there's a big difference between evolving and just throwing spaghetti at the internet. And I have definitely thrown some spaghetti. I want Sparkle and Grow to feel like it's a space that we can figure stuff out together. Like, how do you keep growing without constantly feeling like you're always behind? How do you create things and put things out there without letting numbers determine your worth? How do you take care of yourself while you're trying to build something? And how do you reinvent yourself in your 40s, 43, in your 50s, 60s, and realize, wait. I still have so much life left. I can still learn new things. I can totally change direction. I can build something completely different. I can start over, and maybe I can even have fun doing it, because starting over at 43 does not embarrass me. It actually really excites me. And I think there was probably a time in my life where starting over would have felt like proof that I failed at the first thing. But now I think starting over feels like proof that I learned, and I learned enough to know what I want to do differently. And that's not going backwards, that is growth. And at the same time, I definitely don't want this to be a channel where I sit here and become another place on the internet where somebody is pretending that they've figured out the magic formula for life. I have not. I am also living this crazy life. I'm experimenting, I'm creating, I'm changing my mind, I'm learning lots of new things and trying to take care of myself at the same time. I'm also screwing things up, but I try again, and I'm definitely getting older, and I'm actually kind of enjoying it and enjoying the person that I'm becoming. So that's what I want to share. I want you to leave all of my videos feeling encouraged or inspired in some way, or maybe like you learned something, one extra way to take care of yourself, a boost into trying something scary. Start the thing that you've been thinking about forever. Maybe laugh at yourself a little and stop taking this whole internet thing so seriously. And hopefully feel a little more hopeful about whatever season of life you're in. That's what Sparkle and Grow is to me. The sparkle is not pretending that everything is perfect. It's more finding the good stuff while you're growing through the real stuff. So yes, I deleted the videos, even the one with 125,000 views. And now this library is basically empty, which is honestly a very weird feeling. But instead of looking at my empty channel and thinking, oh my gosh, I have nothing, I'm looking at it like, oh my gosh, look at all these empty shelves. I get to decide what belongs here now. And I have so many things that I want to put on those shelves. So if you're a creator or you're building something, or maybe you're just somebody at this stage of life where you're realizing you're absolutely not done becoming who you are going to be, or maybe you just want a little corner on the internet that hopefully makes you feel a little better after you've spent some time here. So I encourage you to subscribe and hang out with me. We are starting from scratch, and I have no idea what this channel is going to look like 100 videos from now, but that's kind of the point. point. I don't need to know exactly where it's going. I just want it to evolve honestly and naturally. And someday when somebody finds video number 87 and decides to wander backwards through my little video library, I want this to be what they find at the beginning. Me at 43, starting over, and really, really excited about what comes next. Welcome to Sparkle and Grow.